Welcome to Strictly Football, and I certainly hope you've had a great time, but a good footballing time indeed. The English Premier Soccer League has begun, so are most European leagues, and our on is now getting interesting. Where we are now in the Zimbabwean Premier Soccer League, we are taking out our calculators, speculating to who will be relegated. And at the top, we are looking at a two-horse race, or should we say four, mathematically, yes. But hey, to discuss this and much more, I'm not alone. I'm a man who never walks alone. And if you ever doubt that, all you doubting Thomases, we've got Ruben Doubt with us.
How are you, my brother?
Good to have you on the show. How's been the week?
We could do a report and Mungona results such as in Nika Fara, but we are happy to be back on the show, and we are looking forward to this magnificent end of season where we are seeing Moors trying to pull back, but I don't think they can claw back into this race. But they've outdone themselves. Kudos to them.
Save the best for last. He's been away, so we give him a very warm, hearty welcome, refreshed and looking to now go to the tail end of the season in the Zimbabwean Premier Soccer League and the beginning of the English Premier Soccer League. Kevin?
Yeah, it was good to be back. So I've been on a sabbatical, a much-needed sabbatical. I think a bit refreshed, and yeah, it's interesting what we are seeing in our local Premiership. Yeah, a lot of interesting stories. A lot with actually, you know, for the first time in my history of football, I saw the pitch, you know, getting an assist.
Which pitch is this now?
Rufaro Stadium.
Got an assist?
Yes, actually, because
which game?
The first ZPC Kariba goal against Cape United, the pitch assisted. So it was, I know it's interesting, you know, it's about football. It's
full of drama, of drama. But let's talk about Dynamo Scotland. Big game, the crowd massive. Looking also at the fact that Dynamo's resurgent, would you say? And Kaindu, could he be the savior, baby?
Yeah, it was an interesting game. It really was an interesting game. You know, first and foremost, what I liked was attendance. Mm-hmm. Man, the last time I saw Rufaro Stadium filled to the brim that way was around 2008, during the Justice Majavis, Edward Sadomba era. Mm-hmm. I think it's also David Shoko era. It was amazing. The atmosphere was just off the chains. And I'll be frank with you, action on the field of play, I think, was a bit exaggerated by many. Right. It was not really the best of games that you'd watch, but the atmosphere then.
It gave us 5 goals. Come on.
Yeah, I understand. Sometimes, you know, goals can be deceiving in terms of numbers. All right. I'm not saying it was a dump squib. No, yeah. It wasn't like your, you know, wow kind of game. It was a good game. I saw a number of things in that game. And,
are you seeing Kaindu's hand in improving Dynamos? Yeah. Because we always said that this is a side that...
I'm seeing it so much in that there's a change in the way Dynamos play. There's a discipline to it. Like from the beginning of the season up until the Kaindu's predecessor, there was a lot of indiscipline. Not in terms of structure and style of play, you could not tell what is what, which is which. Now you can tell they respect the zones, they respect movement, they respect the transitions. You can calculate what this team is trying to do under Kevin Kaindu. There's even certain players that you would usually associate with rogueness in terms of their attitude, their natural attitude. Some of them, they're so rogue. Now you see elements of discipline, so you can see rub-offs of the coach. Because Kevin Kaindu, I think, is like he's like
about Mfundisi,
exactly.
Are you convinced yourself? Can Dynamo survive, really? Because that win against Scotland, huge, massive. It has gotten them very close to even those that are just below, the top 10.
I believe that Dynamo still have a chance for survival compared to the previous weeks. Mm-hmm. And also the coming in of Mfundisi. Mm-hmm. I think he is a coach of great of greatness, or his ideas or his philosophies are all about playing the game. It's not the boom type of a coach. The moment he stepped in for Dynamos, you could tell that they're bringing a quality coach, a coach who believes in discipline and hard work. Tactically, he's one of the best that we have in the PSL. Remember, he was with the Highlanders, and they were quite competitive with him. And then he went to the now defunct team, the Miners. What were they? Almine. And they became also competitive. Now he's at Dynamos. His hand is showing. The way they play is, like Bevan said, you can tell that there is a team with a philosophy, with a style of play that they are trying to conjure. When you look at Dynamos, backed by the 12th man, maybe by the 13th man, the three guys that are running with the whistles and the flags, then you've got a team that can cause havoc. Going towards the end of this season, I believe that Dynamos, I'm starting to believe that they might survive. Then Yada will be dropping.
Bevan won't agree with you. But let's talk about Mundikumbuke, his influence into the game. I know for some hate how he does it, but how important is he to the team, to Dynamos, and him? Kaindu mentioned that he's a very important player for him.
I believe whoever told Dynamos to bring him back made a very, very wise decision. Chaunga, chinoda munanunga anodunya so achidi munane anengari easy. The way he motivates the crowds. Kungo akungeta warm up chete. Kungo manya paper line paper. Zvinhu zvatotanga kutoita se kushanduka. He's no longer the same player he is. But what he brings to Dynamos is self-belief that they can do it. So if he believes that they can do it, he's spreading that word in the changing room, motivating the youngsters, motivating those who have never played for Dynamos, who have started playing for Dynamos this year. Remember when he came on his first game, the crowd were like excited to watch him. What does that mean? Zvinoreva kuti chaunga che opposition chakutoziva kuti mahwana ita sei atanga. Even asingatipe 100% performance, well, he's playing at 60-30% maybe. I will give it 30.
Advice to Kaindu on how to handle a player of Denver's stature to get full value with the put. We know he's over the hill in terms of edge and playing time for obvious reasons, but his influence into the game and advice to Kaindu on how
you want a politically correct answer, or
no,
you want
a brutal, honest answer.
There is no advice that I can give Kevin Kaindu regarding him having a way of having Denver Mukamba give him, how did you put it? I mean, first and foremost, you've got to acknowledge that he's past the prime. He's no longer the Denver Mukamba of old. Yes, of course, psychologically, like he alluded to, he can pump up the guys and they can, be motivated and stuff. But sometimes it will not work if you've got discipline side. I'll tell you, I don't know if they have an outstanding fixture with Bigita Minerals. I don't know. But what I can tell you is going to be very difficult against Triangle. With Scotland, the stakes were very high. So naturally, what people need to understand about, that's a derby.
Okay, yes.
People have to understand.
That's a derby, yes.
Yeah, it's by every standard, it's a Harare
It's now the Harare derby.
I don't know. When you say it's now the Harare derby,
Liverpool versus Everton. Everton, yes, small team, but they'll cause
problems. I just wanted to correct him when he said it's now the Harare derby. It's as if he's substituting captaincy, which can never happen
for this season.
No, I'll tell you.
There's still that game to come.
There's going to be
how that game is going to be.
You compare the stakes, it's going to be different. That's a game at a different level. But my point was, when you look at the game against Scotland, Dynamos got into that game as underdogs.
Yeah, that's true.
They were the underdogs for many a pundit out there. But now, because of their stature and legacy issues, they had to prove that, of course, we may not be as affluent as you guys, but we remain the biggest football institution in Zimbabwe. So it played to their advantage when they got into that game against Scotland. I, for one, will tell you, I don't want to lie. I was expecting a whooping for Dynamos. I did expect that, and I actually said it today. Because it wasn't just coming from nowhere.
I mentioned it that there is no way that Scotland are going to beat Dynamos.
Yeah, but there are certain sentiments. There are certain sentiments there are certain comments that are sentimental.
So, yeah.
But that I was looking at it from a personnel perspective. To say you're looking at
match.
Walter Msona, Knowledge Msona, and on fire. Time on my chapter. I have to admit, I like the boy. You've got your talent to Kamanja. So you're looking at Dynamos, it's like, okay, you've got your wisdom Tazas who are also over the hill.
Who have never been on top of the hill, actually.
He was at some point. I'll tell you, I think he's a victim. It's a story for another day. A victim of wrong choices, I think. But to go to the year that Motor Action were relegated, I think it was him, Gon Maviri, and Walter Msona. They gave teams story times because they were brought in late, but they were just out of this. Remember, these boys actually went to Europe. So normally you will not cross that divide if you're not good. So there's certain choices that people make that are wrong. But coming back to this issue, I think Dynamos benefited so much. But I think should they be able to maintain that form going into the other games, because now tricky games are coming. By tricky, I mean if you ask me, people out there they've got the right to different opinion. They can argue, fine. But I feel it's more difficult to play a title chasing team than a relegation threatened team. Why? Because it's like if you are fighting. Somebody who's fighting for survival is more dangerous than somebody who's fighting for an accolade. Because, this is a matter of life and death. So when you're going to play the likes of a triangle, the other derby now is going to be interesting because they are all now
fighting for relegation.
They are now all within, I think Dynamos also has a game with Manica Diamonds, is it?
Yes.
So these are tricky fixtures because you're playing against teams that I'm not so sure if Dynamos is going to have a result like the one Cape United had to go and beat FC Platinum in Mandala. Those are at this stage, destiny-defining games. So it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see with these more teams that are coming.
Let's look at the relegation matrix. I would have loved to touch on the Scott Sagopanya giving Deva Mukamba $1,000, which is against the FIFA rules and so forth. But that's a story. We'll talk about it. You can't do that. So it said that you compromise a player at some certain stage because he owns a team, and you are paying an opposite.
But this is an opponent that is just one.
No. Yes, you don't do that in public. You don't do that in public. Yes, because they say you compromise. Because one day it will come back and say, okay, that day you're given $1,000, so you end up performing because of that. That kind of thing. Yeah, but let's talk about the relegation matrix itself. 9 teams are in danger and not very safe. I can say even 10 are not safe. Looking at the number of games left here, your take looking at the log itself, we all know Quaker United is gone. Dynamos, they're picking up at the right time.
They're not going anywhere.
They're picking up at the right time. You've got your green fuel, which is going down. You've got your Manica Diamonds that is blowing hot and cold. At some point.
The same with
Chicken Inn, Bikita Minerals, Triangle at home, they're unstoppable.
They're solid, yeah.
They're solid at home, so you would give them a bit of a chance because of how solid they are. Your take, looking at that matrix?
Dynamos, most of their games, they are at Rufaro.
Okay.
So with the 12th man, they've got an upper end, but it's not going to be easy for them. Yes, some weeks back, they were not scoring goals. They only had 6 goals for the better part of the season. But they are coming up with goals. beating Scotland 3 goals in one game is not a joke.
Yet they were failing to score.
Yet they were failing to score 1 goal. So the same goes for Manika. Manika, they're blowing hot and cold.
They're not even blowing wood.
They just cold.
Yeah, but
No, they got some crucial points.
which one? Which one?
On the road, I think.
Against who?
Tier 1.
But besides that, to me, Manika Diamonds might face the drop.
Okay.
Yada, I've always said it.
Yes.
Although he might not agree with me. Yada are going
You were
down.
getting there. All right.
Yada are going down.
All right.
No, put this on record.
I've been saying it.
Put this on record.
I've been saying it for a long time.
It's on record.
Yeah, it's on record.
Our
Dynamos,
producer is making sure.
For once, for the
will
first
play
time,
this clip.
for the first time in 6 weeks,
Yeah.
I'm giving Dynamos the benefit of the doubt.
All right.
Because they are now
Now
at par
you've
with
given
other
us
teams.
2 names. Let's go. Let's go.
Right. I'm looking at Triangle.
Right.
Triangle, they've got better chances of survival
Right.
if they can win at home.
They're solid
their
at home.
games.
They're solid at home.
We've got the Harare Derby. And if we go to my vegetable, tomorrow I'm going to because my supporter keeps saying that team yawo.
Right.
We might have a scenario where we might be facing 3 teams from Harare getting relegated in one season. Dynamos, Yada, Caps United.
This
But
is a joke again.
but listen, I
So
said
what
I said Dynamos will
no,
survive.
no, what is
I
happening?
said,
But allow me
Yeah, of course.
because I'm saying
Kurumala.
if he's talking about other teams, where is Bigita Minerals fitting in this matrix? Where is Chicken in fitting in this matrix?
All right.
But zvazvinoita, as long as other
All right.
teams
You are
have got
explaining
games,
before you give us your final 4. Okay.
as long as other teams have good games, what happens
They all have
between
games.
those teams and against these Harare teams who also come into mathematical mindset, right? I'm looking at Bigita Minerals.
So you said the obvious
Kwekwe.
Then
Yada.
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 He says it's obvious.
Yada.
Dynamos has lifted them up. And he has
You talked of Manika Diamonds.
Manika Diamonds.
So we were left with one.
He deflated with Caps United, but I'm sure he's still going.
The Caps will survive.
Oh, all right,
I
all
know for obvious reasons.
All right.
We need them in the league. But Bigita Minerals and Greenfield, one of them might drop.
No, we need the name,
All right.
isn't it?
Bigita or Greenfield?
Hey, I love Greenfield. I love Greenfield. I'll go for Bigita Minerals.
All right.
Yeah.
Bevan, ngena ke wena lapho sizwe ngoba uhlabangani sekhona phela ngalo lokhu zen uDeon. Highlanders are also not safe. As we
Which islanders is that?
Iposo sibili.
They
Endala.
are not safe from what?
From relegation. They're there in the matrix.
That one will survive.
Oh, all right. Uhlabangani. So let's go ahead. Mana
It's a joke again.
Yeah.
Kwekwe is obvious.
Yeah.
I think they are a victim of administrative issues. They are not a bad side.
They're not the best side. I think it was administrative.
It's probably the first weeks.
And my advice to their owner was that if he's to keep that thing intact, he needs to have partners to help him. That's potentially a very good side that could have lifted the Midlands, but I don't know for the wrong decisions that he made. They are going. Bigita Minerals, fortunately, they are coached by one person I respect and like so much as well in football. I think the most underrated football brain in Zimbabwe.
Very
who
underrated.
probably is one of the best, if not the best, football brain
He is the
in
best.
Zimbabwe.
I rate him
Wilson
highly.
Mtegele is it's unfortunate, but I don't see them surviving because I think in the formative stages there wasn't enough investment that would see them survive.
But I'll tell you, even if they get the chop, I think that whole team,
Go get players there.
go get players there. I'm telling you,
They
they are
quality.
gems there.
Yes,
Quality.
quality
Oh,
players.
my goodness.
And also what they've learned through the coach.
Yes, true.
Yeah, so you've got, I said Kwekwe, you've got Bigita Minerals, you've got, what's this?
Chicken in?
No.
Okay.
You've got
Greenfield.
you've got Manika Diamonds. Manika Diamonds, I fear for them so much because the results are not coming. I think, if you ask me, no disrespect to anyone, at this stage when they parted ways with Jairus Tapera, they should have brought in somebody who's of a bigger pedigree than the guys that they have now.
Mashiri.
Yeah, it's not like
Stavazo Mashiri.
yeah, I know. It's not like they don't. I was avoiding names.
All right.
It's not like they don't have quality within their ranks. They actually have quality. So it was one of the best assembled side prior to the kick of this season, but they then somehow faltered. Then the next one. You said we've got how many games left?
We've got 7 games left.
21 points.
21 points.
The next victim is going to be, unfortunately, is going to be Triangle. So it's Kwekwe, Bikita, Manika, and Triangle. Wow. There is, I will say it again, and listen attentively. I will say it.
Lalela.
If you are writing, use capital letters. Never. Yada will not get relegated. When you say Yada will get relegated, you know nothing about Yada.
Oh.
Right. It's got quality as well.
Oh, they're playing good football.
They play good football.
They play good football.
But Romenza
What Romenza? They are not going to get relegated, believe you me. And this guy talks of 3 teams from Harare getting relegated. Which 3 teams? Which 3 teams from Harare?
Dynamos
KFC had.
So our producer has captured this because we're going to play this. Please,
Play.
two games to go. I'll give you an opportunity to change.
Of course. No. I'm not changing anything.
I'm not going to change anything. I've changed about Dynamos.
Which Yada?
But Yada.
Yada.
For me, Yada going down.
All right.
Why?
Sisabona.
Yada.
Sisabona. Ukuthi ziyophela kanjani. Ukuthi kabe kunzima. Kaya kumanzonzo. Injalo vele umdlalo webhola.
I'll never build such a facility to have my team go and play in Division 1.
Right.
Never.
Let's talk about MWOS. The led most part of the season, and now they finally snapped out of their drawing and losing streak that has affected their title challenge, where they were at some point 10 points behind. They're now 8 points behind after their win this past weekend. Could we say they are still there for the championship?
No, they're not there. They're not there.
Could this be a revival? The turnaround, it has come 7 games to go, and these teams are still here to play each other. That is the top 2.
Yeah, but
no. They can play each other. Whichever way the results go, it's only those top 2. Right. When the season started, nobody gave MWOS a chance.
Right.
They were just relegation candidates. But they pushed till halfway of the season. 16 games without a lose. Then the 17th, they lost. Sometimes you need to lose early so that you can recorrect or rebrand yourself.
Scotland did, yeah.
Yeah. So you see, Scotland did. Zimbabwe lost early. They rebranded the way they wanted to or refocusing.
Recalibrated themselves. Yeah.
Then they had the chance to calculate to stay in the game, but with MWOS, the streak of losing those games for a long time, it was a first thing for them. So it could not snap out of their mindset just like that. But if I tell you one thing, they've actually outdone themselves, and I say congratulations to them.
They've overachieved.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you see, the problem with modern day.
Because there was at some point in time they were saying they should fire the coach. Really.
Yeah, which is absurd if you ask me.
Craziness.
Because you see, the problem with football now, in general, there is banter, one, and there is over ambition on the part of some owners. When you take a team that is coming from Division 1, and they did not get a lot of Premiership experience in as far as the acquisitions that they made. I think it was only Innocent Zambezi who was actively in the Premiership. I believe Erema was coming from, I think they had him in the Division 1.
Martin Mapisa, Francis
it was a few guys. So, literally one can say they are punching above their weight.
That's true.
And where they've gotten so far, I think
It will be interesting to know Mtasa's contract, what it said in terms of his first season with the team.
that is also the problem
Yeah.
we have with our local coaches. I don't know Ziska, what they do. They need also to have representation for these coaches, not to have these absurd contracts.
Yeah, they should consult,
exactly.
what's his name? I know, there's the Football Association, FAS, yeah. I think they've got good players.
It's only for
players.
So
But you can also have
for the
ideas
coaches
from them.
Yeah, you can have
So
ideas.
they've got a coaches association.
Yes.
I think
Ah,
led
but
by,
Nana
by,
Bambo,
by,
yeah.
by Becky. There was one with Becky Nyon, I think.
Oh, right.
But even, it's not like Bambo is going to be the one who's going to be. But I'm saying,
I have to cheer.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? They need to have realistic contracts. They need to look at that. Don't just append your signature to things that you don't understand. Go to the legal minds. They're there. They will help you. I know that this you can't. Because there are no obvious things in football. You get it? Honestly, if you go back, nobody really thought Moors would be where they are right now.
Right.
It's actually a shocker.
It's a late entry.
Yeah, so I think Lloyd Mtasa has done so much. They have put Norton on the map. They have done so much. So very, very well. So Guti, if they ask me, they need to return the coach. They need to build. Now they've got an idea of what they have to do. Look, Scotland saw, okay, there's this Matthew Stewart who is doing very well with Islanders. What do we do? Let's get
The Mamelodi Sundowns strategy.
Yeah,
They bring the best. Even in a
you get it. What that it gives you a competitive edge. So they need also to do, like now, if you look at their squad, one player that you say would probably walk into any team is Abubakar Mofa.
But yeah.
He would.
That one is a star boy.
Yeah, besides him, you've got good players.
All right.
But he's the only one who's
can
a
walk
cut
in
above the rest. You
can play for any other team in the pre-SL.
you get it. So, but go to Scotland. Almost everyone can walk into any other team.
Yeah.
You get it.
Even into the national team.
You get it. Yeah, someone want to see you because we're not going to nyara. Okay, you've got too many players from Scotland.
Yeah, like I was here to Vakasi Apollo, you know.
You and I have got a soft spot for Polo. Polo
All of the body.
He's doing well.
No, he's doing well. And he's versatile. He can play left or right.
Yeah.
So you
need somebody who...
Yeah, when you have a player like that, you know your right back and left back are covered.
Yeah,
you know,
doing well.
you're good.
You are good there.
With that kind of player.
One player covers for three spots.
Yes, so you're good.
You saw regarding omissions from Scotland, I was actually hurt, but of course I think God technicality led him to being included again. But I think it was absurd living.
Let's talk about let's talk about. We'll come to Michael Nice and his decisions. Let's talk about what is happening at FC Platinum. I mean, 4 games on the trot losing. Should it be a problem for Norman Mapeza, or is something that needed to happen so that he assesses his team next season?
I think for Norman Mapeza, it's something that needed to happen because remember this
He was
completely
unbeaten.
also a new team.
Yeah.
And this is the same problem with Moors.
He didn't lose games. He was
when you start losing, they will come like that.
Okay.
You never stop losing. You will continue to lose. Then here or there you get a draw and a win. But for me, I think FC Platinum and Norman Mapeza, they did well because if you look at their team, it's completely a new team. And
true.
A lot of youngsters popping
Tells
up.
us of his pedigree.
So I think with the competition level, that especially what have been brought in by Scotland, the caliber of players that they've managed to bring to Zimbabwean football, is above none. Because if you look at Simba Bora, actually Simba Bora just took the bulk of Manika Diamond's team that finished number 2 last season and continue. It's more like a continuation. Right. For AFC Platinum, they were rebuilding and rebranding.
Looking for new
also.
names. Yeah.
So we just say tough luck to FC Platinum. But
while you want to add on that, let's talk about also Ngezi. I mean, Ngezi themselves, Texua Chiragui, one of my favorite young coaches, also hot and cold.
Yeah, before I even touched on Coach Tego.
What?
No, regarding FC Platinum.
Yes.
You asked a simple question.
Yes.
Is it whatever? So I will respond to you this way.
Right.
I think it's an institutional problem. It's not the coach.
Coach, all right.
Norman Mapeza is a proven. In fact, if there's one person who should not prove anything to anyone, is Norman Mapeza, because he has proven. Okay, there was a point that Scotland beat FC Platinum. Say a week now, you remember his words when he gifted the team money. He said, "Magic, team here, coach no man."
Yes.
Not just no man.
Not just.
Yeah, but even if he had said Magic, team here, no man, that tells you something about the guy. Norman Lopez, at this stage, go back all the seasons that he has coached FC Platinum, he will never lose 4 games on the trot.
That's the first time, actually.
Never. If you know Norman Mapeza, you know he's not going to lose 4 games. And I'll tell you, if you give him high school boys, go get Churchill, Prince Edward, and whatever, Pamshana, those good schools, and give him. He's not going to lose 4 games.
Those two are no longer good, Churchill and Prince Edward. No.
Okay, it's okay.
It's our fight.
It's okay. Whoever is now.
The headmasters,
yeah,
they've changed everything.
Yeah, PE.
Culture is gone.
Yeah, if you go to whatever Mzilikazi or whatever, go find high school kids. He's not going to lose 4 games at this stage. So it's just that some of these institutions, they are good at managing certain things that will probably not be for public domain. But if I want to look at this critical, I would never think there is any issue with the coach, because look, yes, you can say it's a new side, but remember, up until they played Scotland, they had not lost a game. Is it correct? Right?
That's true.
That was their first defeat against Scotland with the new guys. Right, all of a sudden, then you go on a streak of losses. No, there are issues that probably
need to be solved.
Subliminal, but they are there. No, coming to textual rugby now and Ngezi, I think they did not have stability this season. At some point, Deco was about to join Cape United. Maybe he was using it to bargain for a better contract. Also, the people do that, but naturally that brings in a bit of uncertainty within the ranks of the team and instability. Then quality-wise, this probably was their season that they didn't have big names. Not necessarily to say they didn't have quality. They have quality, but usually associating gays with some big names.
Big names, yeah.
But this season they have they have been a bit.
To conclude on local Premier Soccer League, we cannot go without talking about the international break and how important it is for the 2 top sides, Scotland and Simbabora. And when we come back from the international break, that big game, Simbabora and Scotland. Simbabora failed to capitalize on the defeat of Scotland when they could have beaten relegation threatened Greenfield, which was a tough game away nonetheless, but they could have capitalized on that, and they could have been 4 points ahead, but it's now only 2 despite Scotland losing that game.
When you're playing a team that is fighting relegation, remember uti butse dongirada utofama 1 yakakubata ayo onotofight usatrafa, right? Greenfield, they are fighting for survival, so they are giving everything they can, especially if they are playing against the current champions of Zimbabwe. Who doesn't want to beat the current champions of Zimbabwe? I think for me it was a point gain than lost. Yes, they might have lost 2, but they gained 1. Remember, it was a 1 point separating them. Anything can happen in football. Scotland might get another draw and they can win. Then the gap is 5 points. Or Scotland might win and then they lose. Then Scotland are on top with the 1 point. But for me, I think Simbabora, they are traveling all the way from Shamba to all the way to Checheche, that side of Mozambique. It's actually in Mozambique. And getting a draw, I think I give credit to the coaches, because at this stage of the season, you can easily lose to those relegation candidates. I don't know.
How important is the international break for these 2 sides to prepare for this blood and thunder encounter that is coming through on week 28 of the Premier League?
No, it's going to be very important. It gives the players time to recover. Those that are on national duty, of course. It's going to give to recharge, but believe you me, it's not going to be what you think.
Why?
It's gonna be a dull game.
Because Z2 lezi phezulu phela lapha. Lafiwa la.
No, not dull, really, because I don't think you will have a dull game when you're playing, whenever Simba Bora play, because they just have too much quality. They may not have big names as compared to what Scotland have, but they will give you a good game, but they're going to lose that one.
Who?
Simba Bora.
Simba Bora losing.
Yeah, because at this stage,
They're at home. They rarely lose at home.
That has nothing to do with it.
Doubt.
You know what? At this stage, do you see Scotland losing 2 games on the trot at this stage when they are steering the crossing line?
The biggest challenge for Scotland, if I may step in,
is what?
Is the number of players that will go on international duty.
Okay.
But this guy is choosing to forget a glaring fact.
The squad that they have.
The squad that they have, they can take out 6 players and bring in 6 big name players.
All right, ngawati wale 6 ivavo, bonza vamwe 6. But the first 11 yavo kana iriwe nevazhinji vaenda ku national team. Kutaura chokwadi kuwadzana yaibude.
No, let me
the best that Scotland can do.
Who's going? Who's going? Let's go. Who's going?
Knowledge
Knowledge is
Machope.
going. Knowledge joined in just.
Yeah, so okay.
Tamon will play.
Yeah.
If he comes back uninjured, he's going to play. And Terence will play. Right. You can have by then probably Gareth Mataga will be back.
Yeah, that's a good player for them.
If you've got Gareth now, then God knows he's not playing. It's even better to have Gareth than God now. Right? Then you've got who else? Who else was called? Kama is not going.
Kama is not. He's injured.
So at the end of the day, you want to look at what these guys have within their ranks. It's not. That's this one side. That's not.
They've got a bloated squad full of experience and quality, but remember Shampa, the crowd. I'm going for Shampa.
What crowd?
Hayi sizaphela sibone bathi elika3 kalidlalo liqala ukudlalwa kuphela yikho lapha seqasa khona ukubona ukuthi hayi kuyafiwa la labe lichisa Shampa vele ke bekubhebha and abakhorokhoza abekhona khona ngale vele ke bekunzima. And yeah, I mean, for me being a neutral, I would love to say.
Remember, they are all minors.
Oh yeah, by the way,
they are all minors, but the other ones are just affluent.
Because I would love to see, the tactical astuteness of the 2 coaches, young coaches,
very good 2 coaches.
I love to see that and how they're going to. It should be a game, right, gentlemen. Having said that, let's move on to, Michael needs finally calling time on my show. I don't know why he had ignored him in the first place, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that sometimes we get blinded by certain things. And
even Navaya can't even get a...
Well, I will understand Navaya may be saying to this guy is probably
over there,
kicking, the last kicks, fine. But Tepun Machope has been performing consistently.
He's getting them places.
From last season, he's among the top goal scorers. Right now, I can almost bet that he's going to be the top goal scorer. So at the end of the day, it defies logic. Your most informed striker, you are leaving him. You know why I have problems with his omission in the first place? Though technically, a technicality led him to being called. I've got this problem, Valentine. This guy has done everything that a player should do to be called in terms of his role. He's supposed to be scoring. That's number one. What is our objective going into the next games? That should define who is going to play. Are you going to play Tino or Terence or the ones that you know already that you have got, you have assessed and you have got no issues with, you understand? Why not give others? Because what it therefore means, if you don't call these other guys, you have shut the door already for them. With the tournament, we are in what? September. October, November. It's literally, we're saying just 2 months away. So you're saying you have shut the door on everyone else. Okay, I'm just going to work with this. That is unfair, if you ask me. What does Timon Machope need to do to be considered?
I think he has done exactly what he has needed to do.
Right. Having said that, I mean, there was the Sean Fusire thing. I mean, somebody at ZIFA surely messed up. And for us, we need not this to be playing out in the public domain of what a player has done and what you have not agreed with the player. Really, I think it could have been handled better.
In this day and age, we're talking about 2025, entering 2026 in a few months ahead of us. We still have these problems as a nation. It's
We
a
thought
shame.
the administration
It's a
would
shame.
come and change some of these things. We thought the way.
Do
but
we
looks
have,
like
do
they're
we have
helping us.
footballing? Do we have footballing people? The people with the knowledge of how to handle football players. Remember, these guys, they owe people tickets, air tickets, which they never refunded from 2002 till now, 23 years ago. ZIFA still owes the likes of Peter Ndlovu, Benjani Warwaru, Sifa Chimeza, a host of names that we can throw into the pan. They need to be professionals. A manager who is able to handle these situations, a manager who is able to communicate, a manager who is able to make sure that the funds of these players are
I didn't
in
want to
place.
sound nepotistic, but bring back my father.
I was going to touch
Because
on
he
that.
handled
I was
those
going
new
to touch on
players
that.
quite
You know,
well
sometimes
at some point.
we've got to look at, is it a ZIFA issue or it's an individual issue?
yeah.
Yes, because we may have tendency to just blame the
Yeah,
association
we blanket-
sometimes,
yeah, we
but we
tend to
blanket
blanket.
it.
Bev.
Can I finish?
Yeah, okay.
We can sometimes blanket it and say, because if the institution is individuals, right, that have specified roles, right, we sometimes need to get to a point where we call out one another for what is happening. If it's the manager, it has to be the manager.
He has to take
if
the
it
stick
falls
for it.
within their portfolio, he has to take the stick for it to say, you know, I don't think that boy had anything outrageous in terms of his demands.
No. Because if I saw when he sent his version of the
story.
issues, to me it
made
made sense.
Right.
It made sense.
So at the end of
Why
the
should I
day,
cater for myself?
Yes.
So
Indeed.
we may be, you know, we are used to this ZIFA that, ZIFA this, ZIFA that. Sometimes let's go into some of these individuals. Yes, one can argue they are the ones that make ZIFA, but we have got divisions. Valentine, you work for ZBC, right? We sometimes if you are showing that, get me right, I said if you're showing incompetence in certain areas, people shouldn't say ZBC is
all the time,
incompetent.
yeah.
They have to look at the certain, because there are others that are doing well. You get it? So I wanted to say, even when you make changes, you also want to look at, okay, was Wellington Pandare not so good? Was he bad? In terms of his execution, of the execution of his duties, did we have such issues when he was in the office? Or if we didn't,
I remember how he solved. I remember just as an example how he solved the captaincy issue. Nola Jimsona being the captain, but Nola Jimsona more reserved, more
Yeah,
he doesn't have the good
vocal
interpersonal relations with everyone. He's
not that social.
He's not that social. Then what
reserved.
what did the manager do? Convince them to have Ovidi Karuru be the captain because anopinda uyangena akaphuma lo wonke umuntu. And then that's how these I know Bevan hates this word because it's labeling. I also hate it. The British Brigade, when they were coming, because those were coming from, from the UK, for them to be welcomed and also be infused into our culture, because the culture is different. And this is what Sean Fusire has shown us, that culture is different. The way he's raised, he's not going to say, guys, he's not grateful.
He's
Exactly. Like, ayo guys, inini parinyaya yakati, but inini chindisoterai matickets angu, right? Handi mune mari yangu here iko. And chingondi upgrade ai. Chet.
Which you wasn't supposed to do actually.
Of course.
You are simply supposed to have standard. Just like Valentine.
When we go in football, we've got different classes, even here.
Exactly.
ZBC.
When we go out to
Valentine in the Muna
it can be the same. Even Valentine, when we go out, when we go to Blawai or Tari or whatever, there is a standard to say we sleep in a particular star.
Yes.
Hotel. There are standards. So if the, how many hours of flight is he going to have? So he needs to be as comfortable as possible because you want him to perform on the field of play.
And he wants to perform also.
Yeah, because it's important.
But at the end of the day, Munier is not a brand.
No.
The brand is ZIFA. At the end of the day, all the blame goes to ZIFA.
And it's upon ZIFA to react.
They did a bad job employing somebody who's not good enough to handle these situations. It's also true. All right, tada is a machope. Machope is not to far out him. Can what say? Wow, and it's because of somebody that has what say? Kuya. But this guy, this day and age, these such things must not be happening. Because how many times do we expect this guy to be coming here to Zimbabwe? Tantis no go prepare my tickets already. Yes, was last minute munom. Pose the dogs. Chimbosense sayako inos anozopiwa nani.
So it comes back to my point. Thank you for raising that. To say, okay, you had pretty much the whole 4 or 5 months to prepare, right? So it speaks a lot about the competencies of whoever is in management there. Who's directly responsible for that.
Who is supposed to be following up on that?
Here's the thing. Follow up, because here's the thing. This is my understanding. After such a happening, this is when we convene to say, okay, guys, we're going to have a post-mortem of the qualifiers and everything. Okay, this happened on your watch. You were assigned to do this, you did not meet this, because we all have key result areas, right? So if you fail to meet them, that's when we can take you to task. We can have a problem with the whole association if something is not done to the person who has done this. You get it? So
because for me, it doesn't make sense. He could have easily been upgraded. Unless they are saying they didn't have the money or whatever. How much is an upgrade to do business class? Because, hey, Gonzima. Yeah, you're not going to have
these guys that were born in places where there's professionalism, who know their value, who know their worth. You're not going to have them. They're not going to be victims of your incompetencies.
And these are two crucial games, gentlemen.
Very, very much.
If Zimbabwe wins both of them, they're back in the hunt for the World Cup, isn't it?
But for us, let us just use them for preparations for the AFCON.
Bevan doesn't want us to go to the World Cup.
We are not yet ready.
To do what? We have not yet progressed from.
No, it will make us attract the Nyonis. The what? The Nyonis.
No. If they don't want, let them play in England.
It's in the ground.
Here's the thing. We need to be serious. Valentine, this is when you go there. You remember your Tahiti?
Yes.
Tahiti.
Yes.
That island nation.
Yes.
When somebody will score, one nation will score 8 goals and stuff. Somebody will have records of saying if they've scored the most number of goals at the World Cup because
of Tahiti.
I mean, do you imagine us being in the group where there's Spain?
Come on.
Germany.
I don't go to 2-1.
Somebody is playing. Their intention is to get a selfie with Lemini Yamal after the game. No, we can't. We are not yet there.
Well,
we still have a lot of ground.
Your predictions, guys, for the 2 encounters against Benin, then in South Africa against Rwanda.
Maybe our chances are with Rwanda. The Benin are a very, very good side. But we just hope that most of the guys, they get the quality time on the ground, on the field of play, so that the coach
for the October matches.
For AFCON. Yeah. Because as what Bevan said, we need the likes of Machope to show what they are made of. Because remember, he's the on-form guy currently in the league scoring goals. Our first choices of scoring goals are already there, but they have not been scoring goals to be honest with you. So we need to give others a chance. I'm not going to look much into the result issue of these 2 games. I just want them to perform well so that the coaches and the technical side, they can have a look at other guys who are coming in.
Bevan?
Yeah, I pretty much have the same sentiment. For me, this is a game that, for me, this is like more of a friendly. It's just a serious friendly. I would definitely use this one to prepare the team, to have, give those that. For me, it would not have hurt to have Abubakar Moffat going there, give him a trial, see if he can fit into. Because I hear people in Luton are actually shocked that Mukamba is called.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Yeah, how can you call somebody who has not even been playing
You
for a
get
long
it.
time?
So what are we saying? We all know what Mukamba can give us, and he will probably be on the plane if he's fit, right?
Manje bavolio uyakutshela ukuthi hayi vele mina nathi ngiyamazi sengavala vele mina first level yami izaqalisa mhla ukungilayo.
So what's the purpose of training then?
Yeah.
If you're not going to change, if you ask me, I'm one person who does not subscribe to the issue of first 11 thing.
Yeah.
If people are going to train,
I mean, Arubi, we were told unreservedly that he is going to start.
No, but for Arubi, let us give credit to Arubi. Yes, ever since he came back, he has been stable.
Yeah, for me, I've got reservations when it comes to Arubi.
I don't have any problems with that. We need maturity and experience between the goalposts. But the other guys, we need. We need.
I can't. I haven't forgiven
opportunities. You know what? People are telling us they need experience and maturity between the posts. Don't you need the same in the middle of the park? Center forward, everywhere.
All right, the spine, actually, we need the experience.
But the next thing they will tell you, hey, Chembere.
Do you know why people think Uti Munakanashka Toj Gamaru?
But if you ask me, but you never asked who you asked. No, man. You said who's going to get relegated. You never asked who's going to win.
Eliana says, after week 28, we'll come with that.
Why are we talking about those that are going to be relegated?
We said that it's a 2-horse race, Captain. So, declare namuhla. I didn't declare that it's a 2-horse race. Now, when tier 4.
You say.
Mabizarum green grass.
Tier 4.
Yes,
tier 4-horse race. You guys didn't.
You guys, mean?
Yes.
I never said that.
I did. I did say
all right,
now it's 2-horse race.
It's not even a 2-horse race.
It's what?
It's a 1-horse race.
Come on, Pepe.
I'm telling you.
You know, so for a program.
Who
is going to win it?
Ask questions.
It's Scottland.
I have to thank my two guests for wonderful conversations. We'll be back next time. Whenever in doubt, Ruben.
Yes.
And indeed, thank you very much for making time.
You're welcome.
Bevan the Beaver, keep smiling, and thank you for making time.
It's always a pleasure, and I love this international break. You know why? One reason.
Why?
Prior to this, we were getting the stick left, right, and center. Now people forget that Manchester City is below us.
You just said it.
Congratulations.
Glory, Man United.
Well, say Kriba, kubonga mina. Impumela yakusasa.